Apologize for saying Drake, but not the transphobic line that Angel mentioned. Wait, there's a transphobic line. I see. This is why I need to read when y'all are like sharing stuff. See, implying Kendrick is trans. I bring up trans people is my question. Wait, did he bring up trans people? Hold on. Let me pull up these lyrics. Seen plenty bodies trembling, resembling Cam Reddish, so full of potential but never given a real chance to develop. My head envelops the pen, these 8 fan letters I craft. His album dropped, it was trash. I lit it like I can't spell it. Is you a demon or is that demeanor for the gram? Tell us. They plead the fifth. I'm seeing hints of a oh, okay. There it is. Okay, there it is. There it is. That's a really whoa. Okay, so we're dealing with flashbang transphobia possibly here. Okay. Yeah, all right. Is you a demon or is that demeanor for the gram? Tell us. They plead the fifth. I'm seeing hints of a trans fella. In cancel culture vicinity, he's no killer. Trust me, beneath his chosen identity, there's still a okay. All right, yeah. Yeah, this is a hard miss, man. Yeah, this is a hard miss. I can't even come up with something for this. Not that I try and find a way to excuse homophobia, but like I don't like to think the worst of people, especially the one thing that J. Cole really has going for himself, because increasingly people are like J. Cole's one of those characters, not characters, one of those like art rappers that is weirdly at an intersection, I realize, of like where taste for people really start to diverge. Because I have a whole section of my friend group that really like J. Cole. Love the work that he's produced. Some of their favorite rap songs can be attributed to J. Cole, and they do think while he's not a perfect rapper, probably up there for someone that should be really respected. And then I have my friends that hate J. Cole. Or not even hate J. Cole. Like it ranges from people that like just don't understand where the hype for him comes from to people that are like he's at best an average rapper that has some very strong highlights when he does do well, but for the most part his discography really sucks. And then the people who think he's corny to the corny max, like cornier than corny, put that boy on a cob and serve him up at a summer barbecue type corny. And like all of them will have like real reasons for it. And so it's interesting, but like the one thing that'll be like a common thread between all of them is at the very least J. Cole at a minimum has the appearance of someone that like thinks and takes time and energy to really analyze what's happening in society, how it's affecting black people, how it's affecting him, how it's affecting his relationships. Oh, thank you, artisan. you know like people usually give him at least the due diligence of being like, this is someone that seems like he takes time to really understand what he's saying. And I would argue that he's done things to like actually show that. Like one of the best things I think he's ever done is the Dreamville festival that he does with all the black art, with all the highlighting the black artists from the Dreamville crew. I genuinely think that's an amazing festival. It's very clear that he actually takes the time to talk to the other artists, make sure to get their time, do songs together, perform together. All I see tons of my people going out there in North Carolina and having a banging time. That's something that I genuinely find to be good. And when I see someone do that, when I see him doing things like talking about and showing the police footage of them raiding his house at at the concert, talking to younger artists, like the fact that he does all these things makes moments like this really disappointing, because I'm not gonna say surprising, and I'm gonna explain why I'm not saying surprising, but it is disappointing. Because with all of that being said, I can't call this anything but intentional with him being the kind of person that I have laid out to you. Like, exactly like I said, like if you're that good, you should be able to rap without being bigoted. Like that's exactly what it is. It's because I know and have confidence in, like, even if he's not the best rapper all the time, I've never once said J. Cole doesn't think. That's never been my takeaway with him. So the inclusion of this has to be intentional. And therefore it's a complete miss and ignorant at best, but more likely just being purposely transphobic, unfortunately. My point is that I made my friend. The point I made to her friends in the past couple of weeks is that they are supposedly the most lyrical best rappers in the world, and they can't do it without being transphobic. People are saying the F's are Kendrick. Yeah, the Kendrick one is something that's. I was going back and forth with a lot of people about that, back and forth, and just like trying to understand how they felt on it more than anything, because it was very interesting to have the conversation depending on who I was talking to when it came to Kendrick on Anti Diaries. Um, but no, if we're just, like just so I make sure that we're still focused in on this for a second. Um, this sucks. And it's not even that good of a bar is the worst thing to not the worst thing. Obviously the worst thing is the phobia. But um it's not even clever. They plead the fifth. I'm seeing hints of a trans fella. So it's like it's such a purposeful time to do it too, where you're seeing some of the most anti-trans laws and by extension some of the most anti-LGBTQ plus laws sweeping the United States. And like you're seeing not only the usual far right dumbasses like speaking up and using inflammatory language to rile up everyone that has no clue how um, how trans people actually exist, who they actually are. Um, no actual discussion with the people they're talking about, no actual reading or understanding, no actual interest in engaging what's being said. Just literally taking the first hate sentence, hate messaging they see online, and then running with it. You got a lot of people falling into that far right pipeline, or just like a lot of people that usually don't speak on stuff like this, feeling some kind of need to start talking about it to either engage with that audience or like find them or follow the money with that audience. One of the case in points, fucking Dave Chappelle and his dumbass. It's just like to do this at a time like this too just doubles down on how stupid this is. Like it's really it's disappointing. And I was trying to read this too to see if there was a way to like I don't know if he was trying to double back and like try and go to a good place with it, but it's like it's not. It's very disingenuous. Even this last part here, beneath his chosen identity, there's still a like this is literally gender denial. Like this is quite literally refusing to recognize someone's gender self-identification as well as just like their new identity. It is quite literally a refusal of self-identity in this line. Um, yeah. Like yeah, or as I said, if the point is supposed to call whoever was a pussy, just call him a pussy. There's a lot more creative ways to call someone a pussy without trying to not detonate them, but be transphobic. Um, it's just sad. This is like I didn't know this was a thing that happened. I didn't even know like no one has talked to me about this at all. All of the discussion has been around just the line and then the weak ass response and then him apologizing for even releasing a diss track, which was a whole other thing that we could get into and that we still could, but no one has told me about this. So thank you for bringing it to my attention, first, Angel, and second, I'm really curious as to why more people have not brought this up now. Is this just an uncomfortable thing? To be fair, though, and this is just an unfortunate truth, many of the circles in which this is being discussed, this whole rap beef, are very okay with this line and don't see a problem with it. So that is actually also something that is unfortunately not all that surprising. Damn, dude. I'm sorry to be stuck on this. It's just like fuck. Like, this is really stupid. Like, I don't know what else to say to that. It's like, why be transphobic? Your TikTok for you page and Twitter timeline has been littered with this. I'm actually kind of surprised this hasn't been on my TikTok for you page. Granted, I don't spend a lot of time on TikTok anymore if I'm not posting on it. So like I get that, but damn, dude, this is like. I was trying to read the lines afterward too to see if there's any reason, but this really just feels like this really feels like nothing. This literally feels like just a throwaway bar. Blood spilling monthly, rather weekly, as a myriad of bodies drop where bricks get karate chopped to maximize the dojo. Comprende? I wonder what my friend. Yeah. There's nothing here. There's nothing saving this. There's nothing to save this with. It's just transphobia to be transphobic. It's just transphobic to be transphobic. I mean, damn. Well, that blows. That blows.